are back again. Thank you. And it is another time. It's time for another awesome edition. My favorite time of the month, Whitney's Women.
Woo!
And you are Whitney.
I am Whitney
Reynolds.
I am Whitney, and I am here with an amazing woman because Whitney Women, that's what we're all about. We bring in amazing women into the studio, and today is a local gal that is doing big things, not just here in the city, but we're talking Ghana here, right?
West Africa.
Yeah, West Africa. So welcome, Rebecca, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it was interesting when I was finding out more about your story and kind of what brought you back home to Chicago. I had kind of this moment where I said the viewers have to hear this around the holidays because this woman is as selfless as they come, and she's starting up a campaign called Go Shout Love. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you got from Ghana to here and where your daughter Ellie fits in.
So I grew up in the western suburbs in Western Springs, very typical upbringing. I did a lot of volunteering in high school and then kind of felt a drift on wanting to go abroad. So I researched a couple nonprofits during my senior year and decided to go to Ghana, West Africa. I was originally supposed to go for 2 weeks. That turned into 3 months. That turned into 6 years.
6 years. Did y'all hear this, folks? 6 years.
So I went to Ghana and learned about the culture and the community and the plight of children with special needs there. And when I was 21, I learned about Ellie and her twin brother Prince, and that they were in a very, very desperate situation and they needed a new home.
So when you say that you were over there and you kind of got that laid on your heart, was there a certain reason why you chose Ghana? Was it because that you knew medically they need more help there, or kids are underserved? Like, what was it about Ghana?
I was really drawn there because of the nonprofit that I had worked with.
Okay.
And there was 2 Ghanaian men running it and who were helping children who are HIV positive. So there are these 2 men running a nonprofit with 100 kids. All of those kids orphaned, no parents, all their parents had died, and they were supporting them. And I thought, I need to be a part of that.
Wow. And you were at that time, how old?
18 at that time.
18, folks. I mean, I imagine what I was doing at 18. And Brady, I don't even want to imagine.
That is not to be said on air.
Yeah. So you go to Ghana, you meet Ellie. At that point, did you know that she had all these different special needs that would need more and more than Ghana had opportunity for?
When I met her, I knew that she was not neurotypical, but I didn't know all of her diagnosis simply because Ghana did not have the diagnostic services. But I knew when I met her that she was my daughter, and I didn't care what she had.
That's so interesting. So you knew she was your daughter when you met her?
Instantly.
Wow.
I looked at her, and I just felt like she was a part of me.
Wow. And her twin brother?
Her twin brother, Prince. So they lived in an orphanage for 6 months while I got all of the paperwork ready to start fostering them. And I had to come back to the U.S. to get FBI fingerprinted because they wanted full background checks on me. And the day before I flew to the U.S., he had passed away in the orphanage. So I was adopting both of them, and unfortunately he passed away right after he was his first birthday.
Wow. So then, Ellie, you go through the stages of fostering and adopting. We're going to fast forward to how you got back to the States with her.
So it took 3.5 years to get back to the States, and we lived in Ghana that whole time. So I had to foster her for 2 years, then apply to adopt. But the problem was in Ghana, the adoption laws are you have to be 25 years old, you have to be married, and you have to be 21 years older than your child.
Well, we have a lot of things working against us in that because you were
I was 23 when I applied to adopt, single, and will never be 21 years older than her.
Yeah, there's no way. I was doing the math. Yeah, no, not going to work.
So I kept getting turned down by all of these lawyers. Nobody wanted to work with me. So I found the law books myself, opened them, and found one clause in these law books that said, if it is within the best interest of the child, it supersedes all other laws.
Wow.
So I wrote an entire adoption case and found a lawyer who was just willing to sign it. Wow. And that's all I needed.
So you get her back to the States, and that's where kind of the battle has begun for you guys because you realized that she had all these different types of medical issues.
Yes. When we got here, she had 5 more diagnoses added to her list that I didn't know about. And so then we began the journey of treatment for some of those diagnoses, intensive therapy, 2 major surgeries, and a whole lot of love.
Oh my goodness. And if you see these pictures, I know we were showing Brady on the way in pictures of little Ellie, and I wish she could be here in the studio with us today, because she is just, she radiates a bright light, but just also just so much love and positivity in that smile of hers.
You can just see it in one picture how
Yes.
much you just want to spend time with this little girl, because
Absolutely.
she looks, like you said, just a ray of sunshine.
So you get her here, and medically, the United States is way better than Ghana, but that also means a lot of money. That also means a lot of care. I mean, some things that we take for granted, getting in and out of a car, that's different when you're in a wheelchair.
Yes.
You know, that's a whole different story. So how have you coped since you've been here?
There has been a lot of nonprofits and do-good companies that have come alongside to help Ellie. But like you said, things add up by the day. Right now, the biggest thing that we are in need of is a wheelchair van. Ellie is 45 pounds of dead weight. So imagine carrying a 45-pound sack of potatoes in and out of a car seat 5 or 6 times a day.
My goodness.
And then having to lift an 80-pound wheelchair into the back of the car. It's a lot of backbreaking work, and so having a wheelchair van is currently our biggest need, where she can sit in her wheelchair, roll her up, pop her in, and we drive off. Because she's a busy gal.
She's wheeling and dealing.
Yes, she goes skiing, she rides her bike, she goes to the zoo, she loves penguins, she is all over the place.
So let's talk about Go Shout Love and how they come into this equation and what this Do Good organization is all about.
So Go Shout Love, every single month they pick a different kiddo who's on a rare medical journey. So they spend the month shouting love for this kid. And that means that they sell custom t-shirts, and half of the proceeds go towards the family. And that can be used towards medical bills, therapy, equipment, whatever the family deems as most necessary for them. And then that family, as well as their kiddo, takes over the Go Shout Love Instagram for the month, so that you can get a behind-the-scenes look into what daily life is with these amazing rare kids.
And like when you say rare diseases, it's stuff that like, you know, you might not think is there, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness, not only is this kid going through this, but they're going through it with a smile, and these parents need additional help.
Yes.
And so this Go Shout Love. So how did you find out about Go Shout Love?
I was doing a Google search into different organizations and places that will help, because a wheelchair van is $60,000, and so I
Yeah.
knew that I could not afford that as a single mom on my own with her. So I found Go Shout Love. I had applied quite a while ago, and I saw that they had never featured a single mom on their page.
Well,
and
a single mom, not
Yes.
just like a single mom, a single mom.
yes,
Yeah.
a single adoptive
Yeah.
special needs mom.
Wow. Yes. And so it's time to change that up.
Yes.
So your month kicks off right at 2019.
January 1st.
Woo! I know.
Happy
like
New Year.
Happy New Year. And it will be even a happier New Year if our listeners can get involved with Go Shout Love.
Yes,
I mean, it sounds
a little tease. So the shirt, Ellie's going to pick out which shirt design she wants, but a piece of the shirt design is going to be her thumbprint, which is super cool. So
I'll take a large.
Yeah, I know. Sign us up. But yeah, we want, definitely.
You will have
Yes.
a stamp of Ellie's sunshine on you.
Oh, that is so
you purchase a
amazing.
shirt.
Isn't it truly amazing hearing this story? And just like meeting you, and as we were talking, just like to know that not only good still exists out there, but like people are fighting for good. Like this is somebody that's not even like just good, but you're like working hard to make good for other people, and that's amazing. So what a great kickoff to the year, right?
I love it. How does the selection process work? Like, how do you become chosen? by Go
You
Shout
can
Love?
apply. So you can also nominate someone if you know a family.
So that's another thing for our
Yeah,
listeners. Like if you know
a
someone,
family,
yeah.
nominate them. GoShout.love. And there's a nomination process, and then they will contact you and do some interviews. And then if you get selected, the team flies out to you and does a whole photo, video, and podcast package.
Isn't that
So
cool?
on January 1st, you can go on the website or the Instagram and see all of Ellie's photos, all of our 5-minute video, and it's a 1.5-hour podcast.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, and I think just like telling the story too, because so often we pass people and we see them and we say, oh, well, maybe this is going on, but to really know the in-depth detail of what's going on is incredible. And so we're going to get that. We got a little snippet of it here today, but Go Shout Love come January 2019. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being our woman. I mean, isn't this a great holiday story?
This is the best way to start off the year. You know, a lot of
Yes.
people are like New Year's resolution. I want to be more charitable. I want to help out more. This is a great way to kick it off.
Well,
so.
and even like if you don't give directly to Ellie or Go Shout Love, to find your way that you can give back, you know, look inward and say, how is it that I can make my difference, you know, and be a woman or man that gives back in this community.
Yeah, and speaking of 2019, Whitney.
Yeah.
You got some stuff coming up. I'm
Oh,
sure you always do.
Oh
Let's
my my
coming up in
goodness.
2019 for you?
Yeah, so right now I am launching a PBS holiday special called Traditions. Yeah, it's on Lakeshore PBS. I am the host. And I am just as holly jolly as they come on this show. I'm just happy as can be. Our talk show is normally very serious, so you get a little bit of a different side of me on this show, which is really fun. Right. So that launches on Lakeshore PBS this week, so you'll be able to check that out. And then, of course, the Whitney Reynolds Show is on every Monday at 6:30 here locally. And I'm just going to tell you, my word for 2019 is growth. Claiming it, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. So just wait.
She said it with like 4 syllables. Growth.
You know it. Yeah. And then if I could have dropped this mic, but it's attached here, folks.
Yeah,
so yeah,
no
dropping this mic. But yes, growth is a word for 2019, and I cannot wait to come back on and share everything that's happening.
We'll see you in the new year, Whitney.
Oh, you know it. Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. And thanks for being so great to Whitney's Women and hearing these stories every week with us.
Good?
Yeah, I was so happy.
For more information, check out WhitneyReynolds.com or get social with us. Twitter @Whitney Reynolds or on Facebook, The Whitney Reynolds Show.